All right, I have no idea how long this video is going to be. I have no idea what I'm going to say in this video, but Justin Fields is no longer a Chicago Bear. He has been traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers for a 2025 sixth round pick that can be a fourth round pick based upon playtime. It's not included in this tweet, but basically, if he plays 51% or more of snaps, then, the Bears get a fourth round pick next year. And I can tell you right now, as a Bears fan, I am ecstatic. Obviously, this return for Fields isn't huge, especially when a lot of people at first were expecting, a second round pick. There were some rumors of a first round pick. I always knew that was a bit ridiculous, but I did think, given quarterback history, quarterback trade history, notably looking at when Sam Darnold was traded, I really did think there was a chance you could get a second or maybe a third and change for Fields. You're getting a sixth, not ideal, but at this point, I'm glad. I mean, the Bears practically had to give Justin Fields away, and I think that speaks volumes to the situation. Now, I don't want to be overly negative in this video because I will say I love Justin Fields. I'm a big fan of his. I will be rooting for him in Pittsburgh. I've got the jersey on for a reason. When a player leaves, as long as they're not a player that goes on and badmouths the team, like a certain linebacker that went to a certain division rival of the Pittsburgh Steelers, I tend to root for him. Like Mitch Trubisky to this day, I'm pulling for him. He's bounced around the league, hasn't been anything, but I love Mitch Trubisky. I've been rooting for him. I'll feel the same way about Justin Fields. The point is here, I am ecstatic that this trade was made. First of all, clarity. We know Caleb Williams is coming. We know that the solution to our quarterback woes is going to be selected with the number one overall pick. Whether it be Caleb, Drake May, one of those two, most likely. I'm not going to entertain the other names. I think it's between those two. Most likely Caleb Williams, and I don't think you could go wrong either way. But the point is, we've got a quarterback prospect that well exceeds any quarterback as a prospect that the Bears have ever had. Now, I'm not going to come in right away, say day one he's the best quarterback the Bears have ever had, because that's unrealistic. But in terms of drafting a prospect, he's a better prospect than Trubisky was, than Fields was. Instead of sitting here and trying to name off every quarterback the Bears have drafted, I just made a graphic to show off every single quarterback the Bears have drafted since the NFL and AFL merged in 1970. Pause for a minute or just take a moment to check out all these names and then continue watching. Whatever quarterback you want to think of that the Bears have drafted, Caleb Williams is an exponentially better prospect than that quarterback. And the same goes for Drake May as well. Obviously, if you've watched my quarterback rankings, you know I have them in line with each other, favored Drake a little bit, but all signs seem to be pointing to Caleb, and I can't say I'm upset with that. That being said, I am a little sad. I love Justin Fields. I was a huge fan of him. I loved when we drafted him. I cried on draft night because I was like, this guy is the one. And there's a lot of truth to the statement that Fields didn't get a lot of help in Chicago. Now, I won't say he wasn't given a fair chance because that's a lie. If you start for 3 years in the NFL and you can't prove that you're the guy for a team, you were given a fair chance. You can say what you want about coaching. You can say what you want about the talent around him. When Luke Getsy got a job almost immediately after getting fired, Darnell Mooney's getting paid almost $40 million. Sam Mustipher went on to be pretty okay with the Ravens. Like, when all these players that were around Fields that we've been told and, tried to say sucked for all this time, get new jobs quickly or succeed elsewhere, there's a common denominator, right? It's pretty easy to be like, okay, maybe Fields was the problem. This is his Taylor Swift moment, right? It's me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me. And I hate to say that because I was a big fan of Justin Fields. Like I said, when we drafted him, 2021, what was that? 3 years ago, I was a senior in high school. I cried on draft night. I was ecstatic. And then things just didn't work out. His rookie year, specifically, ironically, against Pittsburgh, he showed a lot of flashes. There was a lot of exciting stuff. Year 2, there was even more exciting stuff. Year 3, there were some exciting plays, some exciting games. The Washington game, the Atlanta game, the first half of the Denver game. There were a lot of fun moments, but At the end of the day, he couldn't string together 2 consistent games in a row. He simply could not. He could not string together 2 good games in a row is what I'm trying to say. He's one of the worst passers of the football in the league. Wasn't a good fourth quarter quarterback. And I'm not a big stat guy, but when you have what? 1, maybe 2 300-yard passing performances to your name through 3 years, it's kind of telling, right? So I'm excited for the future for Fields and Chicago because this is the best move for both of them. You know, Chicago, they need to reset with a rookie quarterback. They need somebody who, you know, Ryan Poles handpicked, and it'll be incredibly beneficial for them. Justin Fields, he's getting to go to a new place, change of scenery. He's going to an offensive coordinator that apparently isn't a super big fan of him, but Mike Tomlin's on his side. Omar Khan's on his side. I'm sure the city of Pittsburgh will ride behind him after dealing with Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph, and he'll get to learn from Russell Wilson, who plays a lot like him. Like, on Pittsburgh's end, this is a very low risk, high reward type of move, right? Looking at it from both angles, because here on this channel, even though I am a Bears fan, I do try to cover everything from all angles, talk about teams unbiasedly. So from Pittsburgh's perspective, this is a really good trade. You know, you're getting a quarterback that, you know, you can say still has upside. And if he doesn't, what's a 2025 6th round pick, right? And if he does play, if you have a good quarterback with the roster they have, what's a 2025 4th round pick, you know? But it's tough. It sucks. I will say, though, the best part about this trade has nothing to do with football, has nothing to do with Justin himself. It's the people on Twitter that have been so insufferable over the past couple months, the Justin Fields cult, if you will, that have finally been proven wrong. They can finally shut up. Like this individual right here, and I don't want to call out names, and since this isn't a person with a name, you know, this is just a fan account, I don't feel bad. Pages like this on Twitter have been the bane of my existence for the past couple months. You know, like this already. Justin Fields is about to turn into an MVP candidate. Dude, no, he's not. No, he's not. Justin might go to Pittsburgh and be good. He's never going to be an MVP candidate. There's a lot of things wrong with his game, and I can sit here and I can break down everything wrong with Justin Fields. I'm not going to do that because that's not the point of this video, but ridiculous. Justin Fields plus trade down haul greater than Caleb Williams? No, it's not, because at the end of the day, you wouldn't have a quarterback. Okay, there he is admitting his defeat already. You know, I'm not going to sit here and scroll through this guy's Twitter, but you get the idea. If you're on Bears Twitter, you know what it's been and how frustrating it's been to deal with. Yeah, like this right here. Cross Justin Fields off the Steelers list. That aged pretty poorly. Chicago sports media every day to Caleb Williams. This guy, and there's a bunch of others I'm not going to name because I quite frankly don't care about them as people enough to. I know that sounds egotistical, but listen, if you've been in the trenches like myself and so many other Bears fans that know what was coming and have common sense and know that the goal for Chicago is to win, you would know my pain. I hope there will be Bears fans in the comments of this video that can back me up on that. But it's, I mean, dude, come on. The Eagles wanted Kenny Pickett over Justin Fields. Caleb called. They did. They called about Justin Fields and ended up going with Kenny Pickett. What's that tell you? But all that aside, all that bullshit aside, right? I feel for Justin. I'm sure this is an incredibly tough thing to deal with. You were drafted, you know, 11th overall, coming out of a big school. You've had the weight of the world on your shoulders since you were drafted. You know, you had this fan base riding or dying for you like crazy, myself included, for 2.5 years. And now all of that is thrown out the window. They're resetting, and you're shipped away for a bag of chips. I can't imagine how shitty that must feel. So for Justin Fields, the human, I feel for him. I really do. I've never wished ill will on him as a person. I've never wanted anything bad for him as a person. I wanted him to prove me wrong so badly in Chicago. And he just didn't. Now he can go prove me wrong in Pittsburgh. But, you know, I still don't think he's going to be anything too crazy. Right? I think he'll be better than Kenny Pickett, though. So Steelers fans, maybe that's something for you. But, you know, I know this is a little all over the place, but like I said, this is a big moment, and I just sat down and started recording. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a script. I just wanted to give you my unfiltered thoughts. at the end of the day, I'm going to be rooting for Justin Fields in Pittsburgh, which is hard for me because I've always had a little bit of a vendetta against Pittsburgh because their fans aren't the greatest either. But I'm rooting for him to succeed. I'm rooting for him to go out there, make a lot of the people who were extreme Justin Fields haters look stupid. And the people like myself who, recognize that Fields just wasn't enough, I hope he can go out there and make us feel a little bit better about him, right? Because Justin's a bright kid. I say kid, he's a little bit older than me. He's a bright guy. He's smart. He's a hard worker. Seems like a great teammate. Seems like a good dude. I want nothing but the best for him. And hopefully Tomlin and Russell Wilson and Arthur Smith can give that to him. But for now, the Fields is an afterthought for myself. And I hope most Bears fans, I hope this civil war that's been going down is over. I know it won't be. But I really hope the mood going forward is, okay, Justin's gone. We're not going to sit here, as soon as Caleb throws an interception, it's not going to be like, Justin wouldn't have thrown that. As soon as Caleb loses a game, we would have won that with Justin. I hope that isn't where everybody's minds are, right? I hope that isn't where the negativity and the emotion from Bears fans is going to shift, because we've been granted an incredible opportunity. We're going to have arguably the best situation a first overall pick has ever gone into. And we're getting one of the most talented first overall quarterbacks in my lifetime. I've been on this planet 21 years, and I can count on one hand the amount of quarterback prospects coming out that have been better than Caleb Williams or Drake May. I'm just going to say Caleb because that seems to be where everything's pointing, but just know Drake's still in play in my eyes as well. This is such a beautiful opportunity for Chicago. We have a legitimate roster. We need a wide receiver 3, an edge rusher, and now a quarterback. That quarterback fell into our laps by way of the Carolina Panthers being absolutely terrible, and I thank them for that. And I wish nothing but success for them going forward, because now we got what we needed from them. Yeah, we have their second round pick next year, but if it's a mid second round pick, then so be it, right? I don't want to wish negatively on that fan base and that team either, but we've been granted a golden opportunity. We have a golden goose sitting right in front of us, and I hope the petty arguments and the bullshit and the name calling and the insults especially can just be done with. It's over with. Justin's gone. New era is coming. And I hope we can all enjoy that and be excited for it. Because I know there's 31 other fan bases that if they were in this exact position, they'd be ecstatic. But for some reason, this fan base decided to turn it into a civil war. But point is, I'm super excited. I'm sure I've said the point is multiple times, but I'm really excited. You all should be too. I know a lot of Bears fans are. And I think that's going to do it for this video. Like I said, didn't have a script, didn't have anything specific I wanted to say going into it. The only point I wanted to make is the Bears did the right thing. The return wasn't fantastic. I keep looking down at my phone because I'm expecting something else to come out. But the point, I'm not going to say it again. The return may not have been fantastic, but this was objectively the right move. We knew the market wasn't great, so the Bears got something. It's conditional, which helps. We're going to have Caleb Williams next year throwing to Keenan Allen and DJ Moore and Cole Kmet and DeAndre Swift and Gerald Everett and Kari Blasingame and Roschon Johnson and Khalil Herbert and other wide receiver that we might draft in the draft. Maybe we stick at 9, trade down, get one in the later rounds, whatever. It's a great receiver class. And Tyler Scott, who's going to look better this year. There's so much to be excited about. And that's not even talking about how awesome the defense is going to be. Flus has built something special over there. And Kevin Byard coming in to replace Eddie Jackson's so big. And, I'll talk more about that when I do videos talking about, grading off seasons and whatnot leading up to the draft, which I do plan on doing. We'll probably split that into AFC and NFC, but enough about that. The future is bright in Chicago. It's a new era. We should all be excited. Justin Fields, if you somehow ever were to see this video or if someone clips it and sends it to him, I thank you. You provided myself and many other Bears fans an incredibly fun couple of years. Wasn't always perfect, But there were a lot of fun plays, a lot of fun memories that I know I will cherish forever. And I wish you nothing but the best in Pittsburgh. I truly hope you go out there and make a lot of people look dumb by playing some damn good football. Just try not to play as good as Caleb for me. If you can do that for me, that'd be great. But that's going to do it for this video. I'm losing my voice. Let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts are on this move. Happy to have a conversation with everybody. Try not to be like Bears Twitter and throw around insults. We don't want that. But to everyone out there watching, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like down below, subscribe, all that junk. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, evening, night, afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. I hope you enjoy it because you're all wonderful people and you truly deserve it.
Had a chance on the throwback.
This was an ill-advised throw. What an unbelievable catch by Cole Kmet. And he cups it too. No movement when he hits the ground, tucked up against his shoulder. Wow.
Using that